Hello everybody, Blugoblin here for my third official video of this Midtown Comics stash, which I'm going to review one book from IDW and one book from Image. If you're watching this, then please go check out the other two videos. The first one where I did Dynamite, and the second one in which I did Marvel and DC. In Dynamite I did Miss Fury, Black Bat, and the Spider, and in the Marvel and DC I covered Gail Simone's The Movement and Thanos Rising. So in here we got an Image and an IDW, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Big thanks to Midtown Comics and my bro, my student, TheMtVernonKid. Thank you so much again for this. Starting off with Image, we're starting off with 68 Jungle Gym, number 3 of 4. This is cover A. God, I'm such a zombie nerd, it's unbelievable. But wow, this was really good. This was probably the best issue out of the series. There's a lot of plot points in here that I thought were really well focused in here. The writing was nicely done. The artwork in here was good in some parts. In some other parts, not so much. That's just my opinion. But we get to see more development of the character of Jungle Jim. We get to see, we get to learn more about him from a standpoint. Early on in the book, we're shown a very disturbing image. There's
Jungle Mother, as she's referred to. We get to see early on in the book that she was obviously beaten and raped because she's laying on the ground, bruised, bloodied, and naked. So I think the message was obvious, but they didn't kill her. And later on, and just shortly after that, she recuperates. She gets a hold of herself. She throws some clothes on and goes outside of the hut and finds out that these bastards. There's a small platoon of a small little platoon of bastards going around feeding victims to a cart full of zombies and everything. And she just snaps. She just goes like berserker mode or something. Starts actually scratching up the guys, and they actually try to force feed her to the group of zombies. And that's when all hell breaks loose in here, and unfortunately, I'm going to spoil this. The Jungle Mother gets bitten. She gets bitten by a zombie. Now, for all you zombie nerds out there, myself included, I'm a zombie nerd. I mean, hell, look at that. Look at that. I'm a zombie nerd. What happens when somebody gets bitten? Yeah. But surprisingly, they don't touch much on that. She just bandages it up and just shakes it off and keeps going about her business. And, it's mentioned later on in the issue, but they don't really, I guess they cover it off panel, but they don't really dive deep into that plot point that much. There's a couple of moments where the Jungle Mother looks kind of weird and talks kind of weird. Talks a little sadistically, like she's like hungry for vengeance and something like that. But, she just shakes the zombie bite off and just keeps going about her business in the jungle. And we get to find out that one of the zombies out there, another major spoiler here, one of the zombies that's out there is actually the man that Jungle Jim is looking for, and it's actually this particular zombie is actually the man whose helmet Jungle Jim wears. So this guy is not actually the Jungle Jim, but he just wears the helmet and refers to himself as Jungle Jim in here. My nose is itching really bad. But all in all, a really good story, really good storytelling, good action, really good action. I mean, Jungle Jim takes a machete, chops a zombie's head right in half, and just goes, "Fucker." I love it. It's like a zombie slasher movie. It's like like a Vietnam War mixed with a zombie slasher movie in a comic book. I think it's great. This was really entertaining. I really enjoyed it. And the book actually ends on a dun 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 ish kind of cliffhanger. Really nice. I really enjoyed it. Don't really have any major complaints about this. Any complaints at all, it's just basically just minor nitpicking at best. Really good. I actually enjoyed it. I'm ready to see the conclusion of this. And now for the IDW book. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Color Classics number 11. Now, yeah, I remember these stories. I remember these original stories when I was a kid. I remember reading them when I was a child. But, you know, take it from me. When you haven't read a comic, or when you haven't watched something, if you haven't seen, watched, read, or played something in a long, long time, you tend to forget a few things. Okay? Let's be fair. You do tend to forget a few things, but not the major. This issue starts off right where the last one left off. You know, in the Leonardo Color Classics one-shot, the Shredder returned. And Shredder and the Foot Ninja beat the living shit out of Leonardo. And then in issue 10, there was a big skirmish between the remaining Turtles, Splinter, April, and the rest of the Foot Soldiers, including the Shredder. Now, are you piecing together this series along with a certain theatrical movie? Yeah. And in here we get to the farmhouse act. And in the movie, it was April's farmhouse, but in this, it's Casey's farmhouse. And this actually looks more this particular farmhouse looks more similar to the farmhouse from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 cartoon series, immediately after the demise of the original Shredder in that cartoon, which is really good stuff. And in here, we get to see the Turtles dealing with their retreat, with their failure, if you will. But Mikey is taking it really hard. You know, he's usually the one that jokes and cuts up. And he's kind of like the dopey brother out of the four. He picks a particular spot on the farm, and he uses it for training, for working out. He is pissed in this issue, and he has every right to be, considering what they all went through. And we get to see a little wink and a nod to a classic Donatello and Casey Jones moment concerning a truck. Thought it was really nice. It's like they really did their homework. Now you can see, if you haven't read these stories before, if you're just now getting on board with these original stories, and if you saw the first Ninja Turtles movie, you know where they got their resources from. This was really good. Can't really complain. When I read this series, I feel like I'm going back in time to when I was reading these books, and it was just simply a fantastic. This was a fantastic read. Loved it. Can't really complain. The addition of vibrant colors really helps the story pace along a little bit better, in my opinion, because the original Ninja Turtles comics were all black and white. The color makes the pacing seem to go by a little bit quicker, and it makes it easier to read at some points. Very nice. I really can't complain. This was awesome. It was bodacious. Alright. Well, that does it for my third video. Please go check out the other two videos concerning this particular Midtown Comics stash. Please subscribe to this channel, my main channel here, Blugoblin01. Don't forget Blugoblin X. That's where my main reviews are at for a temporary time. Follow me on Twitter, on Tumblr. Don't forget about my student, TheMtVernonKid. Everybody at Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. Watch everybody. I'll see y'all later.